About 5 years ago, we're praying through the idea of, all right, am I supposed to, what's my own calling? What's the Lord calling me to in my life? And the guys around me, the pastors around me were saying, hey, we think that it's time for you to take a step, trust the Lord, and go serve as a lead pastor, probably planting a church somewhere. And so we started, myself and some others started asking, where would that be? And what you see in Charlotte is a city growing in terms of an international flavor to it. So you get people that are coming here who have never heard the gospel before, but it's also a Bible Belt, cultural Christian environment. And so the vision for our church became, Lord, would you bring a gospel awakening to Charlotte that gets carried to the ends of the earth? I can see a few landmark moments where you look at it, and as long as you're looking at it as, man, we have been trusting the Lord, and we have this moment of really it's celebration of what the Lord has done. So we started out in a Jewish senior citizen activity center. We saw some growth pretty early on. So we start praying for facilities, and one after the other just falls through. And then one morning I got a call that we had gotten outbid on a facility. Not 30 minutes later, I get a call from the pastoral search team, the team lead at Candlewick Baptist Church. The Lord did such a work in them, Candlewick Baptist, to say, you know what? We want to give our legacy in many ways. Give this facility to Mercy Church. We knew that we couldn't all fit into it, the actual square footage, everything. So we planted a second campus, so that became Mercy Providence Road. And the Lord has grown our church, but I think also really stretched our faith and trust in Him from those members who were here before we made that launch. We grew really fast, really in a homogenous way. I had probably this vision of we would be this completely multicultural church that had it all figured out by year 5. That was overestimating what we could do. And so as I continue to pray things and trust the Lord with, the next 15 years, I'm hoping that I'm underestimating what He can do among us by the time we hit our 20-year birthday somewhere down the road. I think of when we went to night theater as a part of the series that we called My Problem with God. Then I also think our worship night that we had at McGlowan Theater. We want to make disciples who love God, love each other, love our world. But it starts with loving each other and loving our world starts from an overflow of loving God Himself. We want to, as a part of making disciples, we want to make worshipers. I think of community groups that the number of people have told me what makes me stick to Mercy is the community that I have with others. Like, we love the weekend worship service, but there's something really powerful about the discipleship that's happening in the relationships that I'm in. Then we say, love our world. A disciple loves our world, which means we believe God sends His people to all people. And we prayed from the start of when we got started that the Lord would send out some of our own to go be a part of church planting efforts, both nationally and around the world. I think of a couple of partnerships in particular. So many of them have been so impactful for us, but one is down in Cuba with a group of pastors down there who have asked Mercy Church to join in helping them reach a whole section of their country with the gospel. It is humbling and joyful to be a small part of what God is doing around the world. And it's very good for us to see how big our God is, how much He is doing, that we're reminded that this is not a one church thing. All that is the Lord's grace. We're only 5 years old. I really wish I knew exactly where the Lord was taking us in the next 5 years. And there's definitely some things that we know. We can see out on the horizon some communities where we're looking to plant churches and to plant a campus of Mercy Church up in Northeast Charlotte, some things like that. But by and large, we don't know where we're going to be 5 years from now. That's the reality. But we know our God is faithful. As we journey together to love God, love each other, and love our world, He is going to remain faithful to us. So happy birthday, Mercy Church, and I'm so excited for the years we have ahead.